In today's crypto news update, we're going to talk about the fallout from FTX last week and why it's actually probably the best thing that could have happened to crypto right now, even though it might not feel like it. As well as that, we're going to dive into some Ethereum and Bitcoin TA, so make sure you stick around for all of that. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and let's dive into today's video. So if you watched yesterday's Ethereum update, I showed you this, which is the Wall Street cheat sheet overlaid onto the current Bitcoin price. And that is telling me that right now we are sat down here getting towards probably the bottom of the market. So things are very interesting indeed. And this is the time that we need to pay attention in crypto because it's where the best opportunity lies. And jumping across to Cointelegraph, guys, the fall of FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried might be good for crypto. Now, a lot of the problem with crypto is many people don't trust it, and while that probably is absolutely at the peak right now, because people have obviously taken a big hit with FTX, with some people losing thousands if not millions of dollars. The FTX drama last week shows us that crypto is not quite ready to enter onto the main stage, with a lot of the leaders in charge of crypto exchanges and things like that not really showing any proof that they are capable of handling such large sums of money. And ultimately this will likely lead towards more regulation and things like that, which many people say is not needed. It's going to make the space more trustworthy, and while smaller players may not like that regulation, the larger corporate money that wants to get involved into crypto will definitely start to pay attention once regulations etc. have been put into place. So there's a huge potential going forward with this. The new FTX CEO taking over, saying that he's never seen such complete failure of corporate controls and such a complete absence of trustworthy financial information. You only have to wonder about the potential for other things to happen in other crypto exchanges, and you'd hope that this wouldn't happen again. Back in 2001 when Enron went bankrupt and 2008 financial crisis, there was a huge number of knock-ons that ultimately upgraded the financial system, and this is something that's urgently required within cryptocurrency. And coming down to this Twitter post here from Frank Chaparro, you can see that the LP in several crypto funds said that when he asked about the lazy due diligence for FTX, they basically replied and said that because Sam Bankman-Fried was on the front of Fortune magazine, it basically stated that he was a big name and he didn't really need any investigation before dealing with his company. Crypto trading still remains extremely low volume. At the moment, we are starting to see something appear on the Bitcoin 4-hour chart. We will look at Ethereum after this. We obviously had that big plunge down after the FTX news the other day, and we've slowly started to reconsolidate again in this ascending triangle. Now, what's interesting about an ascending triangle over a descending triangle, the price at which is being bought up every time is increasing, and ultimately this becomes a more bullish pattern with a chance of breakout towards the upside around 67%. Now, obviously that doesn't mean that it's guaranteed to go out the top of this pattern, but if it does do that, then you're looking to this area up here at around 18,200, which from current prices, you're then going to be looking at around 10%. But you are seeing now this being tested at the lower ends of this consolidation pattern. So diving into the 15 minutes, we actually see some interesting stuff playing out. Now, I often like to talk about order blocks and things on this channel because order blocks give us a bit of an indication of what we're likely to see. So what we are obviously paying attention to is this area here. Now, what did we see on the way up during this area here is actually very interesting. I want to pay attention to this particular candle here. Now, why I'm paying attention to this particular candle is this is a 15-minute chart. This candle shows me that within this zone through here, the big buy orders have been going in. Big buy order, and then you get a bit of a sell-off, and then again, consolidation into that zone and a push out of it. So when we see this on a chart, before we've even had all this information to the right-hand side, we can mark up the chart. You can see a bit of up and down, right? This red candle here is what I want to pay attention to because we pushed up, we had that reconsolidation, and then we've dipped back into that zone. Now, we don't actually have to get all the way into this zone to see a push. And obviously, within the chart pattern itself, as we're seeing these higher lows being put in, this could well be seeing some form of a bottom coming in the immediate short term, around 16,500. Now, also what you've got is another pattern showing up here that indicates that Bitcoin is getting pushed and squeezed a bit lower. We are seeing very, very low volume, which indicates to me that we are likely to see a move developing quite soon in terms of where we are likely to be headed. Because if we're not able to find support at this level, we could see a bit of a sell-off towards lower levels. However, a breakout of this falling pattern here will see us pushing back towards the top of this zone, ready for another retest, and due to the fact that we'll be around 75% through this pattern, we will likely see a push like this. We've also got a W pattern that would be formed from that. So we just need to pay attention to what's going on. In the bearish scenario, if we're unable to find support at this current level, then we will fall to around 15,200, and that will be a fall of about 8%. Falling around 8% could see further selling off, and then you could be potentially looking down towards lower zones. But I talked about this yesterday in terms of where we have downside to. If Bitcoin had an absolute disaster and did crash down to around, let's say, 11,000. So let's say crypto did have a disastrous day and fell to around 11,000. You're looking at like a 35% downside. But potentially from here back up to all-time highs, you're looking at 313%. And because of the way that crypto moves, over time, we do have these push cycles and then reversals, push cycle, reversal, and then ultimately every time the markets are getting bigger and bigger because of the network effect of crypto. We know that every time people getting into the market, then they're now bringing in their friends and family each time. Everyone who missed out on the last bull market will jump in on the next bull market. And this is why over time, the projection of crypto is significantly higher. Now, obviously on a weekend, guys, we're looking into DXY, which is obviously not moving today. DXY is the US dollar. We did fall down into this buy zone here out of this rising wedge pattern, and we have pushed down, but you can see on the weekly chart, we have had a big bit of buying pressure here. It wouldn't surprise me though if the US dollar does continue to fall and start testing lower levels down towards this area here, which is most likely going to be where the US dollar sees some sort of a bounce and then a follow like that. So in the short term, this could see crypto having a reasonable push, perhaps around 10 to 20% for Bitcoin, and then the altcoins also will jump on behind that. Ethereum obviously will follow Bitcoin. If Bitcoin takes a plunge, then Ethereum will probably take a plunge as well. And we could see Ethereum falling far harder due to its smaller market cap size. We're still falling in this sort of falling pattern here, which could indicate a little bit of a lower downside for Ethereum, perhaps breaking into the $1,000 range. Jumping into the 15-minute chart for Ethereum, all again a bit choppy. We're seeing a support coming in this area through here, and whether or not we are able to hold that support pretty much depends on Bitcoin, whether it's going to break out of that ascending triangle to the upside or the downside. And yes, it could go either way. And yes, I know you're sat there at home going, he hasn't told me whether it's going to go up or down. But if you're one of those people, guys, and you're worried about the immediate short term of cryptocurrency, then you probably shouldn't be buying into crypto. Because if you're interested in the immediate short term, then you're looking to day trade it, in which case you can short it or long it. And if you want to learn more about day trading, and if you're interested in day trading, then you should be in my free Telegram group, guys, which is linked down below in the description. All my community having daily discussions in there about what's going on with crypto. But as I've talked about with Bitcoin, the best opportunity right now in crypto, and I showed you the market cycle just now, is that we are potentially going to see a bottom coming in the next few weeks or so. Whether that bottom be sat for Ethereum at around $1,200 or whether Ethereum takes another 20% or 30% dip, we still have an insane upside potential for Ethereum, Bitcoin, crypto in the next year or so. We may even see pushes coming in aggressively after that, but buying at these prices and buying a little more if it continues to fall allows you to get your dollar cost average or the average price that you spent to drop as well. Then you are standing to be in a good position. If you look back a few years ago, Bitcoin was around $3,000, and by the end of that year, it was then pushing up towards $30,000, which was a 10x. At that time, everyone thought Bitcoin and Ethereum were going to go to zero. So if you're feeling like it's going to go to zero right now, because this market manipulation is designed to make you do the very opposite of what you should be doing. Be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful when others are greedy. That's not financial advice. Always go away and do your own research. But if you don't want to do your own research, then subscribe to the channel and I will help you on this crypto journey. Smash the like button, join Telegram, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.